Hello, everyone, and welcome to my I Love Learning podcast today. I am so delighted today. I have a very special guest, and you all are going to love today because you're going to be inspired and really have hope. I have Heather McWilliam on my podcast. She is the CEO of a company that specifically inspires and really helps with uncertainty and adversity, and I'm going to let her talk about it, but it really is the beacon of hope and empowerment called Brave Inspires Brave, and it's for leaders. And when I first met Heather, I was blown away not only by her integrity, but also by her story and how she uplifts. She uplifted me, and she just uplifts a lot of folks in her message. And thank you so much, Heather, for joining me today. I am so happy to have you. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell everyone kind of what you're passionate, and we'll get started.
Thank you. So good to see you, Dr. Gina. Thank you so much for having me on your I Love Learning podcast. I absolutely love the name, like I've said. It's so good. I'll tell everyone, my name is Heather McWilliam, and I'm the founder and CEO of Brave Inspires Brave. It's a global movement, and we're inspiring and building brave leaders of today and tomorrow with a special focus on supporting military and law enforcement veterans that are in transition and looking for leadership, new leadership opportunities through post-traumatic growth. So it's a global movement, and it's really about just being able to give back to those who may be experiencing adversities, have gone through trauma, whatever it may be, but giving them the opportunity and community and support that they need to be able to fulfill their next passion and go for their purpose and just brave their best life.
Oh, I love that. We all need a community. We all need people we can connect with and have really meaningful connections. Heather, why don't you share with everyone what you're passionate about and what inspires you?
Thank you. That's an awesome question. So there's so many things that really light me up. And so it starts with the well-being, really, of everyone and the quality of life that one's living, and to be able to help others and serve others, and to be able to give back to people, to let them know that people care about them and they want them to do good. And so for me, amazing leadership with integrity, morals, ethics, it's so important to me, and it's so important to our quality of life. And just being able to give back to others in that way really just lights me up so much, like I said. And mental health is a big passion of mine, as well as social justice, as well as human rights. And so when we can do that for each other and really give one another that compassion and that kindness and that empathy, there's really nothing that we can't do together as a community with leaders and people seeking to become the leader that they are seeking. So it's really just something that inspires me every day to wake up to be alive and be able to serve again in life. And because at one time I wasn't able to do that. So waking up every day, it's just something to be able to save lives again, or to help improve someone's life.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. When Heather and I connected, she shared with me roadblocks that she had that really kept her, it kept you, really kept you from your passion. And I know you survived. You were a police officer, so thank you for your service and all you did. You faced adversity. You faced a lot with that. You overcame struggles with a disability specifically. So there's been a lot of roadblocks in your life that have maybe stood in the way of the passion at one point. Can you share a little bit about kind of some of those things, or things that may have stood in your way, and how you really came to overcome them, or continue to climb and overcome those things?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. I see it as two mountains in the last, decade. And the first mountain was taking a break from being a police officer and putting myself first, and understanding the diagnosis that I had received was complex post-traumatic stress, depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. And that came from a toxic workplace. And so really coming to terms to what that meant, and how I was able to overcome it, and not just for myself, but wanting to really give back and save other people that were experiencing the same thing that I was. And so that was one mountain, and there were so many roadblocks in the sense of the system. There were so many things that didn't want to be changed, that people didn't see a possibility of being changed, and understanding that at the core of it all, everyone's quality of life mattered to me. And when we can look at it in that lens, I really felt that it was possible. And so it felt like a calling to me to be able to change police culture, to be able to show that despite the challenges, that we do have a common ground, and that is to unite each other with a quality of life and a peace within us all that resonates within ourselves and our communities that we're serving. So it really was a driving force for me. And then the other mountain came after I won my human rights landmark case against the police.
Wow.
Was when really I was facing the debilitating, medical conclusions that I was given by doctors that I would never be able to work again. And
Oh.
that it's devastating. I mean, I remember sitting on my couch and listening to the Workmen's Compensation Board telling me that, I was basically felt like a vegetable. And the trauma that I ensued from the retaliation from standing up to the police really left me in a spot where I didn't know if I'd be able to function again in a workplace or day to day. I really didn't know what that looked like. And so, it's hard to look at because I've come so far in that 4 years, and it really had to do with like mindset. Because even though you're at home and you are receiving some payment for your injury on the job, I still needed a passion and I still had purpose. And so we all, I feel like, we need that. It doesn't matter what we're experiencing, what we feel our limitations are. It was another calling to me that came and said, you know what, if I can overcome these challenges, and even if it's 1% every single day, if I can seek a community and leaders that would believe in the really the impossible. But to me, it was possible because it was another calling that came in my heart, and it felt just as strong as the first one, to stand up to the police. And so it was to become an entrepreneur because, I could make my own hours. I could, do things on my own time. I knew what my limitations were, but others may not have known. And I was still learning about my disability in different ways, in different environments. And, it's really proving to ourselves that we can overcome so much. The mind is just so, so powerful, and that I just wanted to give hope. I wanted to give hope to others that it is possible. And the transition may be challenging, but you're going to learn so many lessons along the way, and you're going to grow. Personal development comes in so many different ways, and the brain has so many ways to reconnect itself, and it's just keep trying different things. And that was kind of the second mountain in a very short synopsis, but it's powerful, right? Brave inspires brave is all about just walking in your brave and being authentic in what you fear. And despite it may sometimes feel like you're being judged, or you're embarrassed, or you're shameful. Like I felt like I was a burden on society when I wasn't able to like take care of myself. But like that's okay. You're going to get past that moment. It just takes compassion for yourself to be able to understand that we're gonna fall, but we can get back up again, and we got to surround ourselves with people with that positive mindset.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you were brave. And I'm so glad that you find this inside of you, this energy, this beautiful, lovely energy to help others who live in or work in a toxic environment and feel helpless and can't get out of it. So thank you for this. I love that you have the courage and the bravery to do this. And so, what does bravery look like to you? You talk about brave inspires brave, but really, what is bravery to you?
I think, it's different for everyone, right? I mean, 10 years ago, bravery was taking care of my health and putting myself first, and not worrying about what other people thought about what I needed to do so that I could serve again, and that I could work again, and I could, give back to others. And sometimes bravery is, getting on the stand and standing up to people that are not being truthful and not doing what's right for the quality of others and the quality of well-being for others and justice and mental health and human rights. And so sometimes bravery is just being truthful about your feelings, about your emotions. It's also understanding that, we all face adversities,
Mm,
and also admitting when we're wrong, and owning that, and understanding that we don't know everything, but be willing to learn and be willing to admit that we made a mistake sometimes. It's just there's so many things, and bravery is really about overcoming those fears that come up, right? That show up, and being able to recognize them and sit back and reflect and understand that you have the power within you, and you can reach out to others to be able to overcome those fears. So I think that bravery is different for everyone at different points in their lives. And the more authentic that we can be with each
mm,
other, and the more that we can show that there's tools to overcome our fears, it really becomes like a muscle memory. And then we start
mm.
inspiring others to, reach for their dreams. It's all about, do that thing that's on your list that you want to do, and find a way to do it, because it's totally possible.
Oh, yes, I love that. So, what is that thing? What is that thing for you that engages you and keeps you happy? Because I know this isn't like it's done, right? You described two mountains that you
Mm-hmm.
have faced, but this is an ongoing
Mm-hmm.
journey, right? So, what continues to make you happy and continue you forward towards this passion that you have?
Thank you so much. I love that as well, because yeah, it is two mountains, but here's the third, right? It doesn't end.
Yeah.
There's no end to the mountains, right? You
Ugh.
you you accomplish one, you hike one, and then there's always another one. So I
Mhm.
think for me, every day it's about, I wake up every day feeling like it's a miracle, that I'm alive still, and that I'm now able to give back. And so
Mm,
it's just I have gratitude. I have so much gratitude, and people hearing their stories of what they're overcoming and what their fears are, and to be able to like share something that may help them overcome their fear or help them transition to where they want to be in life. Every little step matters. And
mm,
the more either I'm giving to my friends, my family, to clients, to colleagues, to coaches, mentors, the more that we can collaborate with regards to helping people overcome their fears, and understanding, there's so much wisdom between like
mm,
everyone in the world, that the more that we
mm,
just keep pouring into one another, that eventually the energy will just rise. It's just literally such a powerful state to be in, with the mind and the subconscious mind, and just understanding that you can change someone's life, and that's what keeps me going every day.
Yeah. So, it's interesting. I do a lot of research on neuroscience and kind of this idea of when you're lonely. You mentioned this earlier, how your brain continues to evolve and actually the structure can change neuroplasticity. It's very much documented. Loneliness, it impacts the gray and white matter in your brain. And so when you do acts of gratitude, it does release neurotransmitters that do impact not only how you feel, but how others feel. And so that's the beauty of the energy that you can create in your life. And I'm so happy and proud that you do this. And I am just so pleased to be connected to you and to
Mm-hmm.
know the beautiful work you're doing. So thank you for doing that. And you continue to shine. And I love that. So I want to learn more about specifically, I mean, because like what was it that left like the impact on your thinking? There wasn't like you were at the darkest place you could ever imagine. And then do you remember, was it like a specific event or something that really impacted your thinking to want to be on this other side of the mountain and continue to evolve and learn?
Yeah, so I had gone so far, I think, in my mind, in darkness. It's not intentional, right? It's what
Mm,
happened when I was in isolation, when I was placed in such a dark, fearful place of retaliation and a constant basis. And I won't get into all the things that I experienced in the retaliation, because it will trigger flashbacks in my mind, and repeating thoughts, because that's never going to go away from me. So speaking became really difficult for me, and I'm blessed to be able to be doing that now. Um, but really, in that darkness, I saw I sought God, spirituality, a higher power, the universe, because I did no longer felt connected to others. And
Mm.
I really felt like a burden. Like I didn't feel like I belonged. If my doing what was right and standing in my integrity was not what people around me wanted, I said I wasn't going to get emotional, but
That's all right.
yeah, here we are. Um, you know, and so I came back to spirituality, and because I had lost it for so long in policing, just seeing so much suffering and so much pain in policing and what I was experiencing myself, I ended up diving deep into spirituality and just not just one religion, but all religions, and really
Mm-hmm.
trying to be the investigator of like the laws of the universe and understanding, higher consciousness and being able to open the pineal gland and just being able to like understand and read and research and learn about higher consciousness, about the subconscious mind. And I would really just kind of like drift away on like a daily meditation, walking meditation, sometimes people call it, but I was like in another state at a lot of the times to be able to like stay above all the negativity and understanding that I needed to switch my mind into a positive space for me to be able to sustain the pain that I was going through. Like I was afraid that my body was just going to completely burst due to the so much stress that I was under from all of it. So I really sought that, and with that came like a lot of channeling of intuition and wisdom and greater perspective. And I was then had an image of like wondering, staring into the sky of like, where were all the leaders in the world? And I was like,
Aw.
I really was like, I don't know where they are. I wasn't on social media. I was constantly being hacked. I had no idea about LinkedIn. Like, I really didn't have these connections at all. And so I remember being just away from, Toronto and the city where I was being followed a lot. And so I was just wondering where all the leaders were in the world and like, what would it be like to find them? And what would it be like to create this community? And it was just like, you know, what if I wrote a book one day about how I was, I just started imagining what a better life would be like and what a life would
Mm.
be like that I could do for others and what I could do for others with that if I found that. And so
Mm.
eventually I got to that place where I was like, okay, I've won my case. And I was in such a dark spot. And when I was in that dark place, I remember hearing my intuition say to me, like, I felt dead. I actually felt dead and had no
Mm.
emotions. I just wanted to feel love again because I didn't feel it anymore from people,
Mm.
not from my family, but just from everything that was going on. And so I remember my intuition, like my spirit, my soul saying, "I'm still here,"
Mm.
and that told me, okay, if I can still hear that, that means that that can ignite again. Like I missed my mind so much, I missed myself so much, and so just connecting with my spirituality and wanting myself back and wanting to be able to give back again to others, that gave me light. And if I could pull myself out of it, then I felt like I could then turn around and give that back to other people. And so when I was able to connect with leaders I met them on LinkedIn and on Clubhouse, like that was like the door. That was like another like sign saying, this is the way. And just continue staying in that mindset, continue like lighting up your subconscious mind and stay focused because it's possible.
Oh, that's beautiful. And the thing is, Heather, when you started and sprouted brave inspires brave. The thing is, when you have the energy and you're giving off the energy of wanting to do good, you inspire and attract other folks that want to do good. So you yourself have created and inspired an entire community, and that is exceptional, and you should be so proud, and I know you are, and I know everyone in your community is. So I love that, and thank you for creating that and finding the spark inside, because what we would all say is that's resilience. It's having a resilience when you've been at that dark space in your life. To be able to come out, it makes you stronger. It actually makes a particular portion of your brain larger, and that actually makes you have a greater willpower. So if we were,
So good.
we don't want to carve your head. We don't want to look at it. We don't want to have your brain. But I bet if we did, we would see that you've made changes and you're growing and you're just doing wonderful things. I love that. So if somebody's listening to us today and they're feeling like you were or feeling close to have lost their passion, they've lost their passion to learn, they don't know what to do, where to go, what advice would you give to them?
I want to say to them, there's hope. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like there is, but there's hope. And connect to other people. Surround yourself, your environments, what you're listening to. Surround yourself with positivity. Because yes, we have acknowledged the past, but we have to, like Dr. Gina said, we have to like refill those neural pathways and we have to reconnect them and we have to focus on the good because that's what our brain is going to remember if we just keep doing that. And so, listen to positive affirmations. I started with gratitude of like, I'm thankful for the air, the sky, and the sun because I didn't know what else to think about. And so, I had to just trust that process. I had to trust the process of everything I had read, everything I had listened to, all the, stories, and just had to believe in that process and stick to it and just try things, right? Like I wasn't an artist. I didn't go painting. I didn't do all these. I started writing again, but like, just try it. You never know. And you never know what's going to come out or what's going to happen. And just believe that the lessons that you're learning now are for a greater purpose and just sit in that space, close your eyes, find what's happening and then find what lights you up. Like just dream a whole new world, create the best world and life that you could live in and then start taking small steps towards those goals. Just surround yourself with such amazing leaders like Dr. Gina Anderson and so many out there. Like, honest to God, just believe in yourself so much. And this is just one part of your life, and there's so much more coming.
This is just the beginning. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Heather, if people need your support, if people want to reach out, leave us with where they can find you, what's the best way to connect, and then also just final words for this Friday Junior on this 25th of July.
Thank you. Yes, you can connect with us on our website, www.braveinspiresbrave.com. We have podcasts there. We have our digital magazine there. Please check it out. If you want to be involved in any of those, you can reach us at heather@braveinspiresbrave.com. I'm on LinkedIn. We're on Twitter. So please connect with us there. I'd love for you to be a part of our community. It's growing so quickly, and I'm so grateful for everyone's support. Like, I can't tell you enough. Every day I see someone else joining and just sticking to it and supporting us. It's just such gratitude. And I think that the message that I leave today would be believe in your brave. Like, believe in whatever you're doing and stick to it. It's so important for you to just connect with your passion. Whatever that is the way. And if something isn't bringing you joy, if something isn't bringing you happiness, choose somewhere else. Move. Go somewhere else. Surround yourself with different people. Life is too short. Do what lights you up every single day and choose you. So brave your best.
Heather, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to your listeners.